Well, you've heard the term buyer beware. How about borrower beware? There's so much confusion out there, and I listen to the same ads that you do, and it almost sounds like some of these places are giving away free money. You know, if you finance with me, I'll do a 2.9% loan. Well, there might be some truth to it, but you don't know what the fees are. Joining me on the program, Steve Aledort is going to get to that. I also want to discuss something that I read about last night where this individual used their entire IRA to buy real estate. And I think it's a huge, huge mistake. Not that you can't do it, but there are some real pitfalls to doing it. So I want to visit with Steve about using IRA money to purchase real estate, how you can do it effectively, or 401k money, how you might be able to do it more effectively than actually having the IRA custodian purchase it for you. So we've got a lot of ground to cover with Mr. Steve Aledort, the Loan Financial Planner at loanfinancialplanner.com. Steve Areno, it's been kind of crazy out there, man.
It really has. Especially in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And what we've seen with the issues with passing the potential new health care bills, the concern that things aren't getting passed through, we've actually seen a little bit of a softening with mortgage rates.
Absolutely. Well, here's the thing. The health care bill was cutting $1 trillion in taxes, which was going to help pay for the tax plan that Trump and company are working on right now. So failure on the Obamacare side is going to affect the tax side. And this has got a lot of people really nervous about the economic growth equation. Fact of the matter is, if you don't have more robust growth, it's going to be much harder for the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates, which I guess from your perspective keeps your bull market going.
Yeah, and only time will tell. I was reading something today where a gentleman, I don't remember his name, I think he was a former Fed official, stating that he really has doubts based on what's going on right now, that we're going to see that projected 3% growth in the economy based on what's going out there, jobs, the whole 10 yards. And he's actually predicting a potential recession. So whether we're going to see the Feds increase the short-term rates 2 or 3 times, and if they do, and we don't see the growth, because they said they're going to do it,
right,
then what are we going to run into? So with all of the, what happened was when we had the new administration come in, you had people in the financial markets that help control interest rates by trading 10-year notes, mortgage-backed securities, all of those things, thinking that we were going to see this robust growth. We saw the interest rates move up. But if we have all of this internal conflict of being able to get some of these ideas and projects moving, and it doesn't happen, we may see a decrease in interest rates. I wouldn't bank on it, but I've been doing this for 25 years, and I've been shocked more than once.
Yeah, and I've been wrong more than once myself on predicting interest rates, so I quit doing it. But here's the thing. I listen to the radio when I'm driving in, and I hear the commercials. I see the guy on television from the company down the street that is a big mortgage lender and all that stuff. And they're very enticing commercials. It's almost like, we're going to offer you a rate of 3.99% today. And I know that rate is under market because I learned that from you. So how can they offer you a better deal? What can you kind of go through the whole concept of a mortgage and the fees that you pay and what the fees go for and all that stuff?
Well, that's a great question, because I will have people that will call me up and tell me, well, I've checked around and these are some of the rates that I'm getting. Okay, great.
Yeah, you told them you had a 900 credit score and
yeah, because all lenders have the ability to go within a decent range in interest rates. You can quote anywhere from, let's say, on a 30-year loan, 3.875 to 4.5%, to 4.75%. A lot of them will be based on, we've talked about it in the past, your interest rate's going to be based on your complete loan profile. But let's say that you've provided your profile and you're getting different interest rates. The key is to find out what is it going to cost you in order to get that rate, and what are your cumulative loan fees, and what are also called your prepaids. And those will vary based on the loans that you're doing.
Can you give us an idea of the difference between a prepay, because it still sounds like a fee to me, a prepay and a loan fee?
Cost? Yeah. So when you are getting a loan quote, first of all, as a lender, we're required within 3 days from taking application to provide you a detailed good faith estimate, which is 5 pages.
Is that the War and Peace now?
It's 5 pages, and it's better than it was in the past, but it's still confusing. But let's assume that you haven't chosen a lender. You can still get and should get a detailed breakdown of, all right, if they're offering you X amount in rate, what are the lender fees? So these are your true loan costs. Are you paying any points? Whether it be 0 points, quarter point, half a point, 1 point. The true lender fees are going to be underwriting, processing. Some lenders may charge doc preparation, tax flood, tax cert, flood cert, wire fees, and appraisal. Those are specific lender fees.
All right, so hang on a second. So when I hear this guy, he sounds like an arrogant guy. He does his own commercials. He says, you're an idiot or something like that if you don't call me because I got no points, no fees, and everything's buried into the loan, et cetera, et cetera. How does he do that?
Well, you can by increasing the interest rate, and the lender then provides what's called a rebate, which helps you pay for those fees. But a lot of times I'll go on the internet just to check on what's going on, and you'll see a lender that says, we'll have a certain rate and says no lender fees. Well, I just went over what those lender fees, it's not a no-cost loan because you're paying escrow, title, and recording fees.
So you have to have the definition of what a lender fee is. Okay,
Correct.
so go through the other ones then. If there's no lender fees, somebody's swallowing those fees. What about the other costs?
Correct. So the other one-time fees will be escrow, notary fees.
Escrow meaning a tax bill that you have?
Well, no. These are still part of the one-time fees.
Okay.
So you have an escrow in the state of California. There are states that don't have escrow fees. So you've got an actual escrow fee. Escrow setting up the loan, doing the proper documentation, providing escrow instructions. Then you have your title fees to help protect you against any liens down the line, and also to do the double check that there aren't any existing liens on the property that are going to affect your title and being able to sell the property down the line. Recording fees. On a refinance, a lender will control all of those fees. So you want to make sure that you get a breakdown of exactly what all those fees are. But on a purchase, a lender doesn't control escrow, title, and recording. So on a purchase, when you're comparing rates, you want to compare rates plus the lender cost. The escrow and the title fees will be the same no matter what lender you choose. And on the, when we go into the next part, we can cover some of the prepaids and
prepaids, yeah, like taxes and so forth.
Yeah.
It's fascinating stuff. Be careful what you listen to, you read about, or you hear, or whatever, when it comes to fees on a mortgage, because all fees need to be explained, whether they're buried somehow into the loan or not. Also, when we come back, buying real estate with your IRA and why you should call Steve Aledort and get a mortgage instead. Stick around. LoanFinancialPlanner.com, that's Steve. We'll be back. Don't go away. This is The Ray Lucia Show.